Hello, Leo. Welcome to your weekly reading. This is for the 26th through the 1st. We do have a new moon in Gemini happening to start off the week. So I do have a reading already up on the channel for that. I will link it to this video. If not, you can find it on my homepage of this channel, but also you can find it in the new and full moon playlist. Let's see what's going on with you, Leo. One card for Leo. One card for Leo, please. Thank you. Honesty. Oh, we'll save that. I can't always expect the truth from others, but I can expect it from myself. Being honest with ourselves, I think, requires more courage than being honest with others. Because we know the truth. And when you're maybe not fully honest with someone else, there is sort of like that, I guess it's almost like a safety net because you know that they don't know. But when you're not honest with yourselves, you know that you know. So it's almost scarier in a way. I don't know, I'm really feeling that for you, Leo. It's like you're not worried about being honest with other people. You're more worried about acknowledging the truth to yourself. Practicing self-integrity, self-discipline. What is this about? What is it that you might be lying to yourself about? Or just not admitting something? That's what it is. It's like it's not that you're lying to yourself, you're just not admitting that you either know something or that you feel some sort of way. Yeah, like you do know that it's there, you're just not acknowledging it. Okay. Failure. Ooh. It's too early in the morning. I understand that a mistake is only an opportunity to learn. I understand that a mistake is only an opportunity to learn. Failures are absolutely just that. They're mistakes. But they are absolutely lessons. Because failures show us what not to do. Failures show us what don't work. So it's still a win in a way. It's a failure because it's not the direct path to that outcome that you're seeking, but it's success because it's an indirect path that's not going to work. So is this what you need to be honest to yourself about? That you have failed in the sense of the word, but you need to know that you have succeeded in a way as well. That it's not really failure. One failure does not mean 100 failures, right? Also, there's that. Because sometimes when you fail, you expect a second failure to follow. Because in our mindset, we think, well, it already happened once. That means the next time it's going to fail again. That's not how that works. You don't know what's going to happen. That's the whole point. That's the whole trial and error, right? Is that you figure out through trials what is an error. Look at where you have not succeeded and look at it in a way that says, you know what, if anything else, at least I learned something. At least I learned a lesson. The universe gave me that, teacher-student archetype to shine. Okay. Let's get more into this. What is this honesty about for Leo? What is this honesty about for Leo? Clarity and mountain. Okay. So this feels like you might be confused, or you might not have a sense of clarity because you're not being honest with yourself, because you're not admitting something to yourself. You actually do have all the clear answers. Now, there's also the message here that you might not be honest to yourself about some sort of challenge, some sort of tribulation, something that you need to overcome because it's the mountain archetype. some kind of a, I don't want to say adventure because it doesn't feel exciting. This feels more like a chore, more like a burden, more like something that you have to face. As soon as you admit it, as soon as you acknowledge it, as soon as you realize that it is the truth, right? As soon as you realize the truth, and this doesn't feel like objective truth. It feels like subjective truth, like your personal truth, not truth that's objective or mundane or collective, right? It's not like a factual truth. This is truth about how you feel and how you think. This is your personal truth. Once you accept that, you will gain that full clarity and you will be able to traverse this mountain. Okay? You'll be able to get over it. Not like get over it, like, oh, get over it, but you know what I mean. You'll be able to climb over this mountain. Okay. What is this failure about for Leo? What is this failure about for Leo? One card. Pressure. The pressure to transform, because it is transformation. Pressure and stress create diamonds, though, right? Pressure and stress create diamonds, and that's what I'm seeing. And you are a diamond in the rough, Leo. So remember that. I know it's hard to accept that or remind ourselves of that when we're going through so much pressure. But just remember that on the other side, there's a diamond, and it's you. That's what you're not seeing. That's what you're not realizing, or you're not aware of, maybe you're just not aware of it, but you're going through a transformation because of all these failures. All right, and I really do want to make that plural. I want to make that plural because it feels like, almost like you feel like you're getting beat down, like you're getting hit with failure over and over and over again, and you're just not quite sure if you're doing the right thing. You are still doing the right thing. You're just trying to figure out through trial and error what works and what doesn't. So these consistent no's, right? These consistent rejections that are coming from the universe feels like now you're questioning, now you're self-doubting, and it's putting you through a lot of pressure and stress in order to go through that transformation. Just be aware of that, okay? You're not wrong. You're not broken. There's nothing that needs to be fixed about you, right? You are the right fit. We're just trying to find the right environment. Wow. Okay, that's what I'm saying. Like you're in the wrong environment. Leo. Okay. I thought that was the Ace of Swords, but it's actually the Five of Swords. Interesting. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Alright, bottom of the deck is the Six of Cups. Now for me in this deck specifically, the Six of Cups is very much soulmate energy, but it doesn't have to be, especially in this kind of a context of a reading. What has already happened, the past, obviously affects our everyday. I know that everybody thinks that it doesn't, but it does. We do things every day, every moment, based on what we've already experienced, right? That's how we learn. We literally do that since birth. We touch that hot stove, we remember don't touch it again. So we do everything step by step based on past experiences. So don't beat yourself up, right? If you're doing something in reaction to what has already occurred. Knight of Swords came up first. There's a lot of quick movement this week. Thinking on your feet, making quick decisions, using your logic, using your mind, making sure that you are not missing anything, that you're not stepping over any details, right? Dotting your I's, crossing your T's, okay? Making sure that you're paying attention to every little... Do not leave any stone unturned. I don't know. I feel like I have to say that because that next card out is the Five of Swords, which again, I thought it was the Ace, but it's the Five. there's two messages here, especially because the Queen of Cups is next, and I'll show her. But do not turn into, like, first message, right? We have to be aware when we go through these things, we might turn into these very cynical, pessimistic people, right? Because we're just tired of failing. So we turn into these Mr. Scrooge type grumpy people. So there's that message to pay attention to your feelings, to your thoughts. Are you grumpy? Do you need a Snickers bar? Right? There's that. The other side of that is not to let, because I feel, yeah, it is the same exact person. Just a different, it is. Yep, okay. This past version of you, because remember the past is here, right? This past is here, past experiences. Don't let that past version of you denote what you're doing now. I know that's easier said than done. Again, I know, because it's natural for us to do it. That's just how we operate as human beings. But that past person did something already. So take the knowledge from that past version of yourself in order to shoot the arrow to hit your mark in this current version of yourself. All right? Because there's almost a message here of like you're carrying the shadows of the past heavily right now. So needing to release that in order to focus more on the now. Not really the future. Just take it step by step and pay attention to right now. Don't worry about the future. Queen of Cups is next. More love, more comfort, more nurturing, more carefree, more understanding of the emotional side. Because right now you're very, I don't want to use the word immature, but you're using more the mind. And the mind is actually not mastered. You've mastered more your emotions than your mind, which is interesting. Even though you're very strong-willed in the ways of thinking more than the ways of feeling. So you are being asked to make sure that you just make sure that you feel your way through life, right? Make sure that you feel your way through life. How does it feel? Especially intuitively, because you've got two cards heavily about intuition, gut instincts, right? What is your gut telling you to do? This isn't about silent power. Also, there's a message here with the High Priestess. I know I skipped over the Hangman, but I'll show you. This feels like not sitting in silence. Do not sit in silence right now. Let your voice be heard. Let yourself shine. Put yourself out there. Continue to put yourself out there. Even if you get rejected or you fail, continue to put yourself out there. Okay? There's more going on here, I think, than is being presented to you. There's a lot happening behind the scenes that you don't know about. Right now you're just sitting in the audience watching the play, play out in the theater, but you don't know all the work that the theater hands are doing behind the curtains. You have no idea how much is going into it, is what I'm saying. So be aware of that. All right, the universe is kind of concocting something for you, because this Hangman is telling me that it's going to be another week of waiting, another week of watching, another week of just trying and not really figuring it out, another week of trial and error. But that's okay. All right, it's okay. You're still learning, you're still growing, you're still expanding. You're not stuck, you're not trapped, you're not hung up on something. All right? Death. Death is the last card. Look at that card. Holy crap. Love it. It's almost like, well, horses sense it, right? You see horses sensing tornadoes and bad weather all the time. They freak out. Well, all animals usually do, but the horses tend to feel it a little bit sooner. This gentleman in the middle, he's almost like in this calm, serene. He's literally in the eye of the storm, it looks like, right? Or that's the idea of it, right? He's in the calm of the storm. That's why he's so calm, even though the horses around him are freaking out. That's got to be you. All right? Maybe this is everybody else. Maybe it's other versions of yourself, other pieces of yourself trying to freak out. Little pieces in my mind kind of a thing, all freaking out in the heart space, all freaking out. But you stay calm, stay firm, stay situated, stay grounded. Okay? All right. I hope this helped. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next one.